Welcome everybody. I am Adam. I'm an astrologist, healer, teacher, therapist. This time we are going to explore in which area of life you possess a huge amount of energy, competitive spirit, in which area you would never be satisfied with the second place but only with the first one. Therefore, you could be a real winner, a real champion if you work hard and persistently in this area of life. To find out about all this, you are gonna need your birth chart, which you can set up for yourself easily online. It should look something like this. We can see the 12 houses are numbered from the ascendant going counterclockwise, and we can see all the planets too. To specify which area is that where you are like a true warrior, a fighter, and thanks to this, you could be the #1 champion there, we need to check Mars in your chart. In this chart, you can see it in the 4th house. So depending on where your Mars is located at, which house it is in, it can reveal which area of life was meant for you to be #1, a real winner, a champion, the best basically. As you do have the strong will, the strength, the courage and the competitive spirit in this area, and all these are provided by your Mars there. So let's see what it means through each house. If your Mars is in the 1st house, then you are already an energetic, competitive and powerful person who wants to win at everything, wants to be #1 most of the time. So in your case, you could be a champion anything basically, soon as you decide what you want to be the best at. But at the same time, we need to focus on the personality here too, as you have great leadership skills. If you have a 2nd house Mars, then you could be #1 in material things, money, wealth, property, the material and financial aspects of life. So you can think of any financial area actually, even banks, the stock market, finance, accounting and such. With the 3rd house Mars, the focus is on communication, whether it's spoken or written, but we could mention studying, studies, learning, and even teaching. In these things, you are super competitive. We could also say that in arguments, debates, you are unbeatable as your words are like weapons for you and you could achieve anything with your feisty communication style and reasoning. If your Mars is in the 4th house, then you might be pretty competitive in your family circles. You like having control and being the boss at home or in your family. But we could think of gastronomy, cooking, baking. It could be something you are competitive at, or about your home, your house. You want to have the biggest or nicest home, or at least a better one than what your friends have. But you might be a person who wants to be the best at raising your child, or maybe it is one of your parents, might be your mother, who you often compete with. With Mars in your 5th house, you could be a professional athlete, an Olympic champion, so you have a good chance of becoming a champion in sports. But we can mention creativity, arts, any type of arts or creative self-expression. These are things you might really want to be the best at. But it also could be that it is love and sexual adventures, love affairs that you make a competition out of. But it can refer to your firstborn child too, your business that you do out of love. So you could be a real winner in any of these areas. If your Mars is in the 6th house, then you could be #1 when it comes to work, your job. You are the one who wants to perform better than all your co-workers. And with this planet here, well, you have every skill to do so. The topic of health also belongs in here, so you could be a #1 healer, a doctor even. If your Mars is in the 7th house, then you think of everybody you interact with as competition. You compete with everybody. You might always want to be better than the person standing in front of you. It might be present in your relationships as well. You might want to be the dominant one in your relationship. You like being in control, but basically you could be a true champion on the stage of life as well. If your Mars is in the 8th house, then you represent dominant sexual energy who wants to be a champion between the sheets too, maybe. But we can also mention magic, the occult, the subconscious mind, psychology. You could be a #1 psychologist, sexual therapist, or an occultist or a tarotist. But generally, researches also belong here, so you could be a #1 at that too. With the 9th house Mars, you could be a real champion abroad, in foreign countries, for example. But you might be very competitive and therefore a real winner when it comes to studies, college, university, or languages too. You could learn 5 of them if you wanted to and did it persistently. But we can think of the topic of philosophy, spirituality, religion. In these areas, you could also beat all your competition. But we should also mention teaching, coaching, being a trainer, a coach, or even writing books. At these, you could be a true champ. If your Mars is in the 10th house, then it is your career, your profession, your life purpose, your goals and ambitions that make up the areas in which you could be the #1 winner. You want to reach the top in these topics, and with such a Mars, well, you have everything to do so if you work for it persistently. Building your empire, your reputation, your status. You could be the best when it comes to these topics, as well as you might be competing with one of your parents, perhaps your father. You might want to be better than him. If your Mars is in the 11th house, then you might be pretty competitive in your own community, in your circle of friends. So probably you want to beat your friends in different things. You want to be smarter, more successful, more popular, or something like that. And actually, due to this Mars, you do have what it takes to outshine them, really. But this house also represents society as a whole, trying to be better than the society you live in, so you could be #1 as for your role in society. But we could mention the internet, modern technology, and your wishes and hopes for the future. And the last one, Mars in the 12th house. If you have your Mars in the 12th house, then you might have a lower level of energy. You might get tired often. It is hard for you to regain your energy and to be active, dynamic, and energetic in general. So with such a Mars, it is not so much the physical world where you could be better than everybody, but more like the metaphysical world, spirituality, faith, transcendence, meditation, self-reflection, understanding, healing, empathy, the heart and the soul. So you could be the best healer, helper, therapist, spiritual worker, guru, a monk, or even a doctor, but we can think of arts as well, photography, film director, video maker, musician, and so on. Alright, we have checked out Mars through all the houses. Make sure you take advantage of the position of your Mars, as incredible potential resides in it. Fire it up and utilize it, but remember, the fire of Mars is strong and intense initially, but as time goes, it decreases. So if you want to be a champion in that specific area, it is super important to be persistent. That is the key. I hope you can bring out that champion from within and reach glory and success as you are meant to in that area. Thank you for watching. I hope you like this video. Feel free to subscribe for more content and consider joining me on Patreon for exclusive astrology content. Thank you very much. Take care, guys. Bye.